That's like
Get out of here.
eating the song and then shitting it out, saying it's just as good.
No.
it's not
Absolutely.
good.
You're just racist.
You know, I wouldn't fall for that Apple bullshit. I would just spend eternity fucking in the Garden of Eden.
Why kill Adam? But what if there's no men? Then it's just women fucking.
No, it would just be Adam and it would just be me and Eve, be Jimmy and Eve.
Oh,
And-
you weren't in the equation though, Jimmy.
If you could travel back in
It was
time,
Adam and Eve, not Adam.
but you go back in time
Jimmy
and
and
you kill
Eve.
him. I'd be like, all right, that fucker's dead.
I don't know.
Here, come on.
Oh, he's traveling back.
You see, you're going back.
Hey, you're out of some
How are you
extra
gonna
shit.
kill somebody if you can't go like choke them out?
Oh, I don't know. Like a
Be like-
fucking spiritual nuclear button you push.
Be like, hello, Adam. Like, you gotta be like, fixing to be.
The first man on Earth named Adam. Little highly suspect. Adam?
Why? Maybe God was making people in alphabetical order.
Maybe.
That would have been Aaron.
But it would be Aljamuka Makaluka Bakak
It would
or
have been
something.
Aaron.
Yeah, yeah.
Aaron.
Yeah, it would have been Aaron, exactly. With the double A. Dumb spelling. Yeah, if God, I don't know. I mean, what color do you think God is? I mean, do you really believe that he's a white guy with like pale skin and beautiful gold brown hair?
I think he looks like Zeus, only like cooler.
What's the guy that plays Zeus? Chris Hemsworth?
No, that's
Is that who
Thor.
plays? Oh.
Yeah, that's Thor.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. Maybe he looks like Odin, but
But he
without
looks
the
like
eye
Chris
patch.
Hemsworth, I think he looks
Yeah,
like.
that would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus, not God.
No, not God.
God, of course, looks like Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
White man with white hair.
Yeah, man. He's like,
Of course, right?
that's why you have white privilege.
Look at this smirk.
God's white. Yes.
Ask me how I feel that God's white.
Why do you feel like God's
I'm
white?
already smirking.
Why do you think God's white?
Well, because the Bible... Did the Bible say he's white? It doesn't say he's white. He says he has hair like wool. White, but it says he had white... No, it said Jesus had white wool hair.
No.
Yeah.
He said brown hair.
It said white hair as white as wool.
Jesus was like 30 when he died.
What? He's
35.
33.
33, yeah.
And no, it,
didn't have white
says
wool
he
hair.
has hair like white as wool. But where you at? Look up Jesus' hair. What are you doing? Putting up porn?
Dude,
We ain't been recording fucking 3 minutes. You're pulling up porn?
are we recording?
What am I looking at his hair for? Color?
Yeah.
I mean,
Hair color of
It's
Jesus.
brown.
how much
Am I right?
money? How much money, Jimmy, is enough for Bo to get on board with this?
Maybe.
Can you picture David Letterman looking over, or Conan O'Brien looking at Andy Richter and say, "Hey, Andy, what's the?" And he goes, "Hey, man, why are you asking me?
Yeah. I'm on Brazzers, man.
Because you're on the fucking show, Andy. And before I met you, you were a fucking garbage man."
Jesus' hair has always been brown in every book. In every...
Wow. Well, then, hey,
Every
that's
movie?
the proof for me, Bo.
Every
You're right.
movie?
No, you're right. Absolutely. That's it.
You know, you see
It's brown.
Passion
I'm
of the
looking at
Christ.
6 brown pictures right now.
I didn't say pull up a fucking Google image of it. I said pull
do you
up
Those-
what the
They
Bible
describe it?
says.
They
Those
describe
might-
it in the Bible?
Those might
Yes,
not be
it
actual
says Jesus
photos.
has hair white as wool
I don't remember that.
and dick is black as Arabian horse. Sorry, that's too far. I really said this podcast, and from going forward, I'm gonna work on my swearing too much. It's too much.
Yeah, it's bad, man. It's
Like,
like,
don't.
every other word is like fuck, cock, balls.
Wow. It says the book of Revelation includes John's vision of the Son of Man.
Mhm.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
That's him
As
coming
white
back.
As white as
What?
snow,
Who?
and his eyes were as flame of a fire.
Flame of a fire.
Nice.
He was a fierce. He was basically an old Viking.
That's awesome.
What if Jesus was a Viking?
That would be cool. Vikings are cool. Not anymore.
You know, there's
though.
texts.
So why did they switch it up?
Well, here's the interesting thing.
Well, that's him coming back in Revelations.
Oh.
That's not him on Earth. So,
Wow, fair enough.
But the movie, you ever seen The Passion of the Christ?
hell yeah.
It's him on Earth, brown hair.
Even it wasn't the real
Oh,
Jesus,
okay.
but it was pretty good. No,
But the thing was, where Jesus actually originated, it was very. They didn't look pale white with that.
they look swarthy.
Yeah, they're
like
basically
me.
Middle Eastern African.
Yeah, kind of. Except they were white.
Why are they white? Did it say white?
Yeah. He was a carpenter. He had a job. Oh God, I can't.
I can't even.
No, I can't.
And you tell me not to swear, and then he says the most racist shit. But I'm not allowed to say shit, but he could just totally desecrate the spiritual value of a fucking race. This is why I swear. Right here. But at least I like
This
black
is why I
folk.
don't make 68,000 a year.
This is why Bo don't make 68,000.
Yeah, please cut that.
There's no cutting. There's never cutting. I don't know if you've ever watched our podcast
I have,
back, but
yeah.
every time you've said cut, I don't cut it.
I know. Don't cut.
It's
Oh,
the
Jesus.
cutting part is the best part. That's what
Yeah.
people go, oh, don't cut it. I want to see this asshole make an ass out of him. So,
Oh, God. That was just jokes, folks.
yeah.
So anyway.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff to talk about. We had a very lull period in politics.
Yeah, it's kind of
Right?
quiet.
It was
for
like a
little
week, and
while.
I was sitting there going, man, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
And then, boom.
Monday came.
Yeah, Monday came, and the barrel blew open, and all kind of crazy shit jumped out.
What do you want to start with?
Actually, you know what I would start with? I know things I want to talk about. Jussie Smollett, Brexit when their votes failed. Did you see that? The court's
Saw
reaction.
a little bit about that. Yeah,
Funny
yeah.
as hell.
Yeah.
What you showed me today, which was what was his name?
Senator Mike Lee.
Mike Lee.
Yeah. He's my new hero, man. That guy was
Amazing.
hilarious.
Amazing.
Hilarious.
So we're gonna get into all that stuff and more. Before we start, I got you a gift. I got you a gift. How about that? No homo. No homo.
Oh, this
Hashtag
is
no homo.
So nice. Wonder if it's
And I
like
meant
a-
homosexual. I mean, homo sapien.
Dude, you can't.
I know.
Now
I totally fucked that up.
You're denigrating a whole race. I'm not.
I chose gold because gold is valuable.
That is
And,
true.
It's,
I'm just tearing it up.
there you go. Have fun with it. I almost wrapped it like 62 times just to
Feels like a.
make it a bit. But okay, hurry up now. It's not Blu-ray. I'm sorry.
That's
all right?
okay,
But
man.
It is.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
So it's the original Punisher movie starring Dolph Lundgren.
All
Man.
right.
This is classic.
Check that out. And we should
Get outta here.
Maybe we
It's
can
been
talk
ages.
about it next
Yeah.
time or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe your opinion changed. I want to watch it again too. So
I wanna
maybe-
watch it
Maybe
again.
my
Yeah,
opinion's changed.
yeah.
Maybe I'll watch it like, fuck, he's right.
That is. It can't be nearly as bad as the last two. They were pretty bad. Dolph Lundgren. You know, he was just in Aquaman.
Was he really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I
Yeah,
never
he
saw a
was in
preview or
Aquaman.
nothing.
Yeah. Gotta catch it. Yeah, catch it, man. It's a pretty good movie.
No shit.
It's
I will.
it's
I'll watch
entertaining.
it.
It's
I love
goofy.
Jason Momoa, so I'll do it.
It's goofy and cheesy, and it plays on that. You know, it doesn't try to hide the fact that it's goofy. It's a guy that talks to fish, and
Yeah, sure.
you know,
Okay.
but it's
Alright.
fun.
Alright.
Yeah, it's got the Punisher in it too. It's got the Punisher.
I love
Aquaman
Dolph Lundgren.
crossover. It's
You know, he's like
great.
he's got like a master's in chemistry.
chemistry or something.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
nuts. Yeah,
Smart guy, badass guy.
You'd never know, but like you saw the Expendables, right?
All of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I was so happy to see him back.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about last time about movies for guys that like movies, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
to see the Expendables is like the ultimate wet dream rehashing of all the stuff you love and all the people you love,
Yeah.
and just throw it in one movie. It's brilliant.
Yeah, you're like,
it's so obvious too. You go, damn,
oh,
Stallone's good.
Stallone was just brilliant with that. He got
Damn,
all
he's
these
good.
careers that were like, not all of them were dead, but some of them, you know,
Yeah.
a few of them were pretty close to being dead. And some of them are tooling along fine, like Jason Statham, no problems there, you know. But to pull back and get freaking Dolph Lundgren back into the game.
Jet Li.
Jet
Was Chuck
Li.
Norris? They kept trying to sign him on.
He was in the third one.
I think he's going to be in the fourth. I heard,
Maybe.
but they said that about the third, and he wasn't.
No,
so.
he was in the second,
Was he?
right?
Did he have a
The one-
cameo or something? I didn't think
He had a very small role. He was a lone wolf. Remember, he called himself a lone wolf. I think
Oh.
I think it was the third. I don't know. It was the one where they were in around Chernobyl or something.
Yeah.
Or they had to rescue those guys from the mine. Yeah, he was in that one.
Yes, Stallone broke his neck in that scene with Steve Austin
Yeah,
in the mine when he got.
one dude almost got blown up at like in
Crazy.
that last climactic
love it.
scene and all that. It was
How
just a
much
great
fun!
movie.
It's got to
Oh,
be
dude.
when you get the call when you're Terry Crews or one of these guys, and you get the call that hey, we're doing another Expendables. You on? We're doing it in June. You know, it's like yes.
You're like, okay, I'll be there. That's great. Yeah, no problem.
Fuck yes, I'll do it. I'll do it for free. I'll pay my own hotel stay, whatever. You
Yeah,
know,
except
whatever
unless
you
you're
need.
Bruce Willis and you want to ask for more money to play a glorified cameo and you just
Asshole.
get booted out
Asshole. Yeah, and Steven Seagal's been turning it down. I love Steven Seagal. How do
I
you feel
do
about him?
too.
Do you love
Yeah,
him?
he's
I mean,
fun.
let me rephrase that. I love Steven Seagal, but I loved him, Steven Seagal pre 2000.
Yeah.
You know, when he was still before he went to his bad divorce and his like Eastern stuff just got crazy.
Yeah. Now he like walks around in a dress and
Yeah.
weighs like 500 pounds.
500 pounds, and he's just like socially awkward,
Yeah.
and he's got a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And I think I get it because I remember coming up and as a guy with long hair and everything, I know he got his share of it. Oh, fucking sissy Steven Seagal. Even amongst the guys that like guys that like guy movies. It was still like Steven Seagal. Kind of a sissy with that faggy ponytail, and you see the way he runs, and it's like
funny.
you see the way he kicks ass, though. You see the way he kicks ass.
Yeah, go tell him that to his face.
And this guy was legitly trained, My mom was a correction officer at one point, and she said, when she got into it, she goes, we watched Steven Seagal instruction videos, and we were learning. He was into instruction before he got into movies and stuff.
That's cool.
He taught self-defense to police officers, military, corrections and stuff.
So he's legit. That's
yeah,
cool.
He's very legit. He married I think a Japanese woman. He lived in Japan many years. He was the first white guy to open up a school in Japan, an Aikido school. That's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty damn impressive. And and he's been a part of the Parish County, I think it is, police department for like 20 years. Yeah. He's an active policeman.
Yeah,
he doesn't need to do that. Why does he do that? Yeah, he
yeah.
does do that. And people go, well, he's just trying to stay relevant. Well, I don't think he cares. I really don't think he cares. But what I think happened with Steven Seagal is like the ogre. He's like the Grinch who stole Christmas, Like he wants to be loved. And he deserves to be loved. And the reason that they turned on him was bullshit.
Yeah.
You don't turn on someone because they got fat, That happened with Marlon Brando and other people.
There was a lot of people, yeah.
He got fat. Val Kilmer, and it's like, guys, fuck you.
You get older. Some people have that tendency. It's going to happen.
Yeah, he had a hard time. And I think what part of it, what did it was Steven Seagal was, he was like...
It's also kind of weird with the whole Eastern philosophy and way of life and all that. So people didn't understand that.
But it's the way he did it. To a certain degree, it was cool. It was a cool thing. Like when I found out that he was into meditation and all that kind of stuff, I was like, wow, that's actually fascinating. I liked him more. But then there came a falling off point where you're wearing kimonos or whatever, and you're walking around eating deer penis or deer antler penis or whatever, herbs and stuff. He was eating, like weird herbs and like, he was just going. He was basically becoming one of these like spiritualist people, like out in Sedona, Arizona, with the vortex crystals. Like, this crystal wards cancer away, and it's like, no, psycho, it doesn't. But
you like deer penis, Bo?
No.
Okay.
He gave that up.
So it's Lent.
Not deer antler penis.
It was something. It was out of the movie.
It's not deer penis season.
I fucked it up.
Okay.
Well, anyways,
I
like Steven Seagal. I hope he's going to be in Expendables, and I would love to have a conversation with them and say like, dude, you deserve respect.
Yeah, he's one of the few that hasn't really made it into that franchise.
He deserves respect. Then he came back, and everyone said, when they were saying old school MMA was bullshit, he came back to UFC and he trained two different big fighters how to do a certain kick. He saw stuff in the opponent they were fighting, and he said, hey, he drops his hands, and I think he's vulnerable straight down the center, which is, so check that out. And here's a kick you could do. And people laughed at him like, Steven Seagal, he would die in MMA. Yeah, he would. He probably would. But he doesn't. You don't discredit, everything. Like the guy knows his stuff.
That's why generals are behind the line and not on the front line.
Absolutely,
they survived long enough to make it there. And
that's exactly right, man. Yeah. That's exactly right. Yeah. And he, he showed him a kick, and they used the kick and fucking knocked out two of the people they fought. One guy tooth went flying off his head. I mean, it was two of the best knockout reels of all time. You're like, whoa. And people still didn't give credit to him, so whatever. Yeah. But I don't know. It's a little detour on Seagal. I did want to say something about Seagal because I feel like he gets so much crap.
He was cool in Machete. Did you see Machete?
Yeah.
Danny Trejo needs to be in the Expendables.
Yes, absolutely. And Seagal. Put them both in there. All right, so let's move on to. I was going to get into the Captain Marvel reaction and Neverland reaction, so maybe next week or something.
Yeah, we'll do that next week.
We'll try to get back to that at some point. Okay, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I want to talk about Parliament and chaos after Brexit votes fail. And I pulled up a video here because I saw this by chance last night, and I thought, you seen this?
No, which one?
Oh, this is hilarious. I love this. This is obviously not in America,
right?
But they are. Oh, I love the way they do this. Look at this guy.
I say to the right honourable gentleman, the member for Derbyshire Dales, I'm not asking him. I'm telling him that the right honourable gentleman will be done the courtesy of being heard. That is the beginning and the end of the matter. Sir Oliver Letwin.
What is this? Am I
awesome,
watching
man.
Game of Thrones? What is this?
Monday, the House is able to reach a majority view.
Look at this guy, right out of Harry Potter.
Yeah, he is.
Buddha.
I love it, man.
Ah!
But I personally continue to harbour the hope that my honourable and right honourable colleagues will see fit to vote in favour of a government motion between now and close of play on Friday. Which would obviate the
Wait, in a second. I was trying to get to the part where this guy, he goes off the chain on this guy. I mean, it's something out of a movie. It's like,
Is it really?
like, what am I watching here? This guy. This guy became my favorite people.
Point of order from the member for West Dorset. The House has today considered a wide variety of options as a way forward. And
Yeah, it's great. I'll stop it there. Yeah, so that's interesting. Brexit votes fell and the House of Roughs. What I took away from this was just, I liked their interaction. It was more playful and less like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the banner, it was almost sport-like. I was like, wow, this is fascinating.
Oh, you know, it's the British. Everything, even if they argue, it sounds awesome. It's like,
It sounds
"Yeah,
awesome.
Dave, you're a total bastard, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, go pox upon your family, you total wanker.
It sounds awesome.
But then we had Senator Mike Lee like pull a one up on.
Then Mike Lee, he
Mike
went
Lee
up that
came
guy.
along,
He goes,
and
hold,
Mike-
hold my beer.
Mike Lee became my favorite person of all time for right now.
That was
This
amazing.
dude.
I thought that was fake for a second, what you
I
were showing
know.
me.
I don't know if anybody saw it, but this is Mike Lee's response to Angel Ocasio-Cortez's Green New Deal. And
Right.
do you have the video?
Yeah, I have right
Yeah,
here.
I mean-
right here. Do you want to set it up, this part, with Reagan riding a raptor?
Yeah, so he opens up with this wonderful picture. He became the meme general of the world, and with a picture of Ronald Reagan riding a velociraptor, firing a machine gun with a rocket launcher strapped to his back and a tattered American flag in his hand. And he states that this has as much to do with ending the Cold War as the Green New Deal does with ending climate change. I mean, he just shredded this thing.
Right.
It was amazing.
In Boston.
It was amazing.
In a future without air travel, how are we supposed to get around the vast expanses of, say, Alaska during the winter?
Yeah, it just kept getting better.
I'll tell you how.
How do you travel across oceans?
Tauntauns, Mr. President. This is a beloved species of reptile mammal.
Do you know this movie, The Empire Strikes Back? Yeah. Oh, man.
No, well, perhaps not as efficient in some ways.
Yeah, it's just too funny.
As airplanes or as snowmobiles.
That's great, man. I'm going to
But-
fast forward and just show some parts of it real quick.
Yeah, show the next one for Hawaii.
Offer their own unique
Where
benefits.
is it?
Not only
There you go.
for the
Aquaman.
Aquaman. And the Hippocampus program where we grow 20-foot seahorses to ride through the water.
And what's so fascinating about this? When you showed me this, I wish I could have just reacted to this completely on the podcast. But what I liked about this, was that he was able to bring in colorful diagrams
Oh, man. Yeah.
of this nature, of this kind. He's so serious,
He's dead serious.
and she's trying. The girl beside him is trying to keep, from busting out laughing.
She's doing a very
Nobody's
good
freaking
job.
out. Nobody's objecting. Nobody's stopping it. He's just like, yes, sir. And I wondered, like, how far could he have gone? He's like, sir. And then the next slide, Mr. President, we show you Bill Cosby's cock. As you see, not what you thought it would be. I mean, how fucking far could he have gone with this?
He took it pretty far, man. He put a picture from Sharknado 4 up, dude, regarding climate change.
Oh yeah, where's that at? Did we already
That's toward
pass?
the end.
But
Let's get to
honestly,
that.
I think
Let's see. I think that's it.
In America.
There it is. Sharknado
Governor
4.
Herbert, who by the way is
Amazing.
an incredible athlete and an expert tennis player.
You know the movie rentals on
I
that
can't
one,
believe nobody is saying anything.
Animal
I
I
wouldn't.
go,
I wouldn't.
sir, with all due respect, can we wrap this up? We're-
I'd be like, no. I want to see it all.
But I watched this and I was going in
So
my
let
head
me
like,
bring it here, Mr. President.
I was sitting here thinking,
Climate?
should we be doing this? Should this be allowed? This kind of thing,
Absolutely.
You think so?
Yeah, it's free speech, man.
Right, but
He's attacking a deal that is so ridiculous
sure.
and so stupid and makes no sense and is so impossible to put together that he's showing how ridiculous it is in a way that's very sarcastic and very biting. The Democrats jumped all over this thing. All these presidential candidates, Kamala Harris, yes, I backed the Green New Deal. Cory Booker, I backed the Green New Deal. Those guys didn't read the thing. I read the freaking thing. I printed it up and read it before they even announced they were going to support it. They're supporting it. I'm like, you guys couldn't have read it.
Right.
I mean, come on. You guys. So yeah, he's mocking those people, and he did a damn good job.
He did, but look at this. Now he's got pictures of little
Yeah,
babies.
well, he's saying that the answer to climate change is to have more babies.
What do you think, Bo?
You know,
Is this a mockery of the courtroom?
it's not the courtroom, it's the Senate. But I mean, he's
The
saying
Senate.
yeah,
That's a very
yeah,
important building right there.
It is.
Everybody around the world is watching this guy right now.
You know what? They're loving it.
I thought it was a joke.
I was so torn because part of me is like, the old way of life of like,
Yeah.
we got to present our best side.
This is what
But then I go, but this is the new way.
This is what conservatives need, is people that are willing to do this and kind of take the fight to that level, because we're too used to the conservative party being full of old guys that are all stodgy and
Right. Well,
bring some young blood in. They want to bring in idiots that are out there Instagramming all day long what they're cooking, their
Right.
sweet potatoes and all that.
I'm more of a central guy, and I think everybody should do this thing.
It's funny, man.
Left and right, but do it tastefully. And
Yeah, I mean,
and
he
did it great. This guy, if I'm Lorne Michaels,
Oh,
I'm getting him on Saturday Night
say,
Live.
oh hell yeah!
And he's gonna do this
Oh,
with just
yeah.
funny stuff. Like there's such a good bit here. I'm getting
Hell
this guy
yeah.
on SNL.
Yeah, definitely. He was brilliant with it. He was brilliant, and she had to be seething. Oh, because she takes that thing seriously. I mean, she didn't write it. She doesn't understand it. Doesn't understand how it won't work and all that. But still, she's got to be like, going to her handlers, going, "You guys gave me that." Like you guys gave me that stupid Green New Deal, and like he made fun of it. It was like there was like Sharknado, and there was like that thing from Star Trek. What was it? The Wrath of Hoth. It's just gonna be like going off.
Did you see her going off about the deal? The deal,
Oh, yeah,
57-0, right?
Hey, perfect score. She should be proud of herself.
So Bo was asking me, he's like, "What does it mean that the Democrats didn't vote no, but they were not present?"
They voted present instead of saying no.
Present, right?
So
Present.
that's saying we're here.
Yeah, but we're not. It's
We're not
plead the
voting
fifth.
for it,
It's
but we're
plead the
not
fifth
voting
almost,
against
right?
it. It's being disingenuous.
It's like, sir, did you commit that crime? I'm not, nor am I denying or admitting. It's like,
spineless.
okay, you're going to jail.
Yeah, it's spineless. This is what it is.
He's like, we don't. I said it was basically like they said Republicans. They said decline, and they said Dems. They go, hold on, I got to take a shit. I gotta run to the bathroom.
I'm here. I'll be back. Just go to the other guys.
If I'm not back in time, just write it down as like like a.
I was here.
Yeah, just whatever. Put whatever you want.
I think 3 Democrats said no, and 1 independent.
It said 57-0.
Yeah, but I think 3 Democrats actually said no instead of present.
Oh, I see.
See, so the present.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the present is basically, it's not a yes, so it's a no.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a hard no, I guess. I don't know. It's politics, dude.
It's a no. It's a
no.
We don't want to sign off on this dumb shit.
Yeah, it's like
because we need airplanes.
Yeah, we don't want to piss off our base, but yeah,
that's the kind of thing that's annoying me with the left right now. Is it's like come back to earth a little bit, guys. Like,
yeah,
I got into a big debate with some of my art buddies, and I posted like a funny meme about Cortez, and
oh god, yeah.
And I said, well, I just disagree with her. I don't think everything. I don't hate her personally, or have nothing against her, or nothing.
I feel bad for her.
And well, I don't. She's probably wealthy and could write a book right now, and she's a millionaire. Her life's set.
I don't think she could read a
walks
pop-up
away
book
right now and goes, I'm done.
Oh yeah.
She writes a book. She signs on with Simon and Brewster or whatever, and she
ends up on CNN as a commentator.
Yeah, she's fine.
Yeah.
At success level, she's fine. Life goals. Look, you got to talk in front of millions of people. She's got like 4 million subscribers or followers on Twitter. She won, as far as I'm concerned, in her direction in life, in her age.
Oh yeah, she achieved more than most people.
Money,
ever will.
success, everything. She did fine. So I'm not attacking her, and good for her. In fact, I don't hate on anybody, man. Everybody. I just say good for you. However you got it. That Cash Me Outside girl's worth millions of dollars right now. I go, you didn't contribute anything to life, and you kind of maybe even one could argue that you brought down the collective consciousness of our race. But, but good, God bless you. Godspeed, and I'm sure you'll spend that money well and play it well. But no, hey, teach their own. We're all a squirrel trying to get a nut, basically. She did seem very angry. I watched a little bit of that. You saw that, I'm sure.
Oh,
she was just going off.
Her hands were just going crazy. It was hilarious. Like watching a child that, she's sitting in the cart and she wants that doll, and mom's like, no, you can't have the doll. I want that doll. It was just great.
And listen, maybe one day We can get past planes, or we can get past all this, or maybe we find a better solution to the problem, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Earth corrects itself. We don't know yet. But, she's got to keep it together.
Well, we got 12 years, dude. After that, we're all dead. So, we better get some George Jetson stuff going on around here. Or flying around.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I hate the climate of politics right now. It's so hard. Like, I'm a funny guy. I'm an artist, and a thinker, a psychology guy. I'm more like, when I look at politics, a lot of times what I look at first is the relation to mental illness or human behavior, interpersonal. I'm always looking from that kind of lens, And I don't know, man. This tribalism is so deep right now that you can't be that guy. You can't be humorous. You can't just go, hey, look, I want to look at it from the lens of human behavior, or
Right.
can I just laugh at this? No, you can't do either. You can't do either. And if you look at it from human behavior, you better be criticizing the right, because they're fucking mad right now,
Oh, man, they're mad.
And I'm just not going to do that. So I keep getting met with, it's not nice. It's not pleasant.
I catch all kinds of hell.
You're a little bit of a shit stirrer, though.
Oh, yeah.
I
There's no
I
doubt.
really don't try to shit stir, and I
Well,
get
I
accused
don't-
of it. So maybe I am a little bit on some level unconsciously.
Okay, so if I see something that's completely disingenuous and I comment on it, is that being a shit stirrer? Like
No.
no,
But when you shit stir.
oh yeah, which is pretty much every day a little bit. I enjoy it. It's fun.
I was reading some
love-
of your tweets last night.
Oh, were you having fun?
Yeah, I was like, oh my
Oh, he's
gosh.
like a bastard.
Who were you tweeting last night?
Who was it? Everybody.
Somebody is particular. It was a good one. All right.
Oh, we should start bringing that shit up. I pissed off, like, there's this guy, Tariq Nasheed, who does some YouTube stuff, and he's got a couple 100,000.
I've seen him. I think he was on Jesse Lee Peterson, I think.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, he's a real black supremacist.
Yep.
He calls white supremacy on everything, and he's part of the ADOS, which believes that the children of slavery should be compensated with reparations and blah, blah, blah. Well, I made a comment on there like a week ago about, how I shouldn't have to pay reparations. Why do I have to pay reparations? Because I'm white? My parents or my great-grandparents or whatever came over in the 1910s. We never owned slaves. That was my argument. And oh my God, I caught the amount of hell for like 5 or 6 days. I'm called a white supremacist this, white supremacist, racist. I'm like, but I'm asking a valid question here. We didn't own slaves. Well, you profited off the infrastructure that was blah, blah, blah. So, we also helped build the infrastructure. I said, my great-grandparents were dirt poor when they got here, and they built their lives up. This is, what do I owe you?
Right.
One guy, he was just, and I was very, very nice about it, but I was very strong about it. I told him, I said, I consider this theft. Well, that's not theft, blah, blah, blah. And anyway, you stole from us. I said, well, does one crime make another crime legal? No, it doesn't. I said, so, it's like it's theft. I didn't steal from you. I said, now, if we could go back and, get the slave owners to pay those slaves when they were released, that's a different story. That's reparations right off the bat to the people who need it and deserve it. It's like, you guys don't need it. So, and the one guy, he just kept going on. So finally I was a dick to him. I was like, well, I'll tell you what, if you show me your emancipation papers, I'll go collect your check myself and bring it to you and deliver it to you, But I was like, I didn't hear from him again after that.
You want to get into that when we get back?
Yeah, we'll move on.
We'll take a break.
We'll take
And
a break.
I'd like to talk about that. That's great.
That's like
Get out of here.
eating the song and then shitting it out, saying it's just as good.
No.
it's not good.
Absolutely.
You're just racist.
It's not racist.
It's a black
terrible.
guy fucking singing a badass rap version
I
of it.
wouldn't want to
He
hear
changes the
Justin
lyrics.
Bieber redo "Boys in the Hood,"
That's not even the same.
It
Justin Bieber
is.
sucks. DMX is great.
but he didn't do the. It's no.
Oh,
Don't care
so
what
you can't do
he-
covers?
You don't want
He
to
can
fight.
cover.
Can't do a cover now?
He can do a cover.
How come you
but-
like Bo's little gay cover with fucking the bearded pirate guy?
Well, Bo's kind of like a bearded pirate.
That was
Nah,
not,
look at
first
how
of all,
fucking short
Oh,
his
yeah.
beard is. It's
That's
First
true,
of all, that
He's like a
the
new
version
pirate.
the version I showed you
He's
was
like a.
just as good as the first as the
He's like
original.
Keith Richards' gay son.
No, he's kind of like Will. What was his name?
Will Smith.
No.
You do got a little Will Smith in you.
Not at the moment though. I got him.
Oh man,
Oh,
remember
that
last
was bad.
podcast? You made such a fucked up joke. I didn't even catch it. I thought I cut it out of there.
Which was it?
It was something about, I said, I ain't never had sex with little boys. You go, well, there might be still time. I was like, like, wow.
That's bad edgy humor, but it's edgy humor.
It's edgy humor.
It's the kind of shit that'll
And
come
then
back
Jimmy
and
goes,
haunt
"Hey
me.
Dave, could you watch that F word a little bit?" You're talking about the darkest shit on the planet right now, Alex Jones.
But you had to be like subtle about it. You're like, fuck cock boss. You know, and I'm like, yeah, blah, 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 blah.
My dad was a sailor.
There's still time.
My mom was a sailor too.
There's still time.
I was raised from a fleet of sailors.
There's so much material there.
They were pirates, actually.
I bet they were.
Anyway,
Anyway, reparations. So what do you think about
I'll
reparations?
give you some reparations.
They were coming back with, well, we paid reparations to the Japanese after World War II and to Jews and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I said, first off, those things occurred immediately after the fact, and they could identify the people the money went to, and yada, yada. It's a huge difference. My big question is to people like that follow this and preach this to these guys, is they're kind of almost like race traders at this point, because they're just trying to keep their own people down by making them reliant on the government.
Do you know how much they want in reparations?
No, I asked. Nobody could tell me.
25,000.
I asked. I said, "Tell me how much you want." What is fair?
I think 25,000 is fair.
For what? A year? A month?
Just 1 year, one-time settlement right now for white forgiveness. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Can we like?
You like that idea?
Oh, I kind of like it, but it's going to have some caveats. Like okay, all right. So now we can make good old black jokes again. Can we do that? Yeah.
We
do
go
that,
back
Colin?
to 1999, motherfuckers.
No.
What? What's wrong with that? See, this is what I'm saying, Jimmy.
Something like 1985.
1885,
No,
1785.
No.
Come on.
No.
We are never gonna,
But that's the thing. How much is enough? What and do we pay it to you just because you're black skinned? Do you get a percentage based off of your history? So if you have like grandparents or great grandparents that only one of them is there, do you only get 1/4 of that 25,000, or do you just get it all because the one drop rule?
Fractions by your percentage.
Yeah, exactly. And if one of my parents was an original American or English settler or whatever down the line, do I only have to pay 8,000? Where does the math work?
I
I'm a
think we can
numbers
work it
guy. I
out.
want to know what the numbers are.
Well, listen, I think 25,000 is a pretty good flat rate. What do you say about that?
Yeah.
How many millions of people are there? What does that come up to? About 2.5 billion or something like that?
It'd be a big chunk of change, dude.
It'd be cheaper than the wall.
Yeah, well,
let's just end
but then we still got
racism
the-
right now.
yeah.
Let's just get over it.
Let's end racism. A couple billion.
2.5 billion. Dave's new
what do you think
new
everybody
Brown
would do with
plan.
that
We'll call it
25?
Dave's new Brown plan.
The Brown New Deal.
The Brown New Deal.
Oh my God, this
This is not
totally
Aaron.
unairable.
Why? But why? Why can't I, like Patrice O'Neill always said, why can't I hate you? Why can't we be racist? Why can't we? There's no answer. It should just be.
But there's one race. There's a human race. That's the whole
Absolutely.
thing.
Why can't we hate the
Everybody's
human
been-
race?
I do. The human race sucks.
That's
That's why
That's
people
what I'm
ask.
saying. Then
People ask that question. If you can go back in time and kill one person to change history, I'd kill Adam. Put an end to all this
I
before
think
it
we
all
should kill
started.
Eve. I think we should kill Eve, though.
But what are you gonna do? Hang out with Adam? There's no Xbox.
Wait, you'll kill Adam and then just take over Eve?
Yeah,
Wow.
would be amazing.
Wow.
Because
that
that
is-
Garden of Eden would last forever then. Because she'd be like, "Hey, you want this apple?" I'd be like, "No."
So it's really Adam's fault for giving in to woman's temptation. This is starting to sound like Islam a little bit.
No, man, Islam.
That's what they believe. That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
women cover their beauty up and everything. It's
Yeah,
like,
no,
they're
they'd be
all
like,
wars are
nah.
fault,
I'd be take that fig leaf off. That's covering way too much stuff up.
Baby, hold on. Let me get you a bigger leaf, a littler leaf.
And we get you a smaller leaf here.
poison ivy.
Ooh, is it itch?
So 25,000 per person. I wonder
Mm-hmm.
if black people would sign off on this. But they said right now, if
then
Jesse
what- okay.
Jackson came out and said, "Look, 25,000 for each person for 1 year. It's all they're offering. Damn it, take it or leave it." What do we
Here's
do,
your
guys?
reparations.
Here's
Boom.
your reparations. What I think is, I don't think anything would ever be enough.
No.
I think reparations is an illusion. Mm-hmm. And I think I don't
It's
care if
not
you
even
give
an
them
illusion. It's a-
100,000. I think in 10 years you would have the same narrative coming back up,
Mm-hmm.
and in 20 years you'd have the same narrative coming back up. It would never end because what it is, and I really believe this. It's excuses.
So why didn't we do reparations when Obama was president? Why
That's a good
didn't
question.
Why didn't
Yeah.
he do that for his
Yeah, I
his
think
his black constituents, his black Americans?
I didn't feel like Obama did a great job pandering to blacks, which I actually respected him in. I
He
know you
didn't.
could say, well, he did this and he did that, sure, but actually, I really expected a lot more stuff,
Mm-hmm.
And when a lot of shootings and a lot of things happened, he kind of stayed quiet.
He did
know?
a different method. Instead of pandering to the blacks, he kind of vilified the police.
That's
Now,
true.
Black Lives
Yeah,
Matter did
that's true.
come. Black Lives Matter did rise up underneath him, and he had those people into his White House and all that. And they're pretty much just like a modern version of the KKK.
But I think that
only
stuff would have
black.
rose up anyway because
Yeah.
of any black president. You know what I mean? With Jesse Jackson, sure, probably been worse. But I think if he would have came out and didn't vilify the police, I think the fact that he was a symbol of like a black powerful leader, then it became, we need to start looking at stuff. These cops are out of control. It's like, that's
See-
right. Let's stop right there. They're out of control, but they're not racially out of control. Mm-hmm. And if it is, even if it is, it's not to a point that's, a national level security issue.
Yeah.
Should we try to get rid of racism? Every day. Absolutely. Every day. You should stop trying to hate people that you have to live around. That's a good philosophy to live by.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I don't think anybody tolerates that. I remember working like you do. We work at, whatever your job is, anyone listening, whatever your job is, I mean, think how you react when the few times that you do hear somebody around you saying something racist. Because every once in a while you hear it. They go, hey, what do you think about these?
Oh yeah.
And I go,
yeah.
whoa.
It kind of pisses me off.
Yeah, I go, what do you,
You know what I
I'm not
mean?
that guy.
Yeah,
And I don't
yeah.
like that. So please.
It kind of pisses me off.
I don't like it. And all my friends are the same way, you
Yeah.
know, and so I try to tell like my black friends, I go, what percentage do you think this stuff is happening? Like, you go for a job, you leave, and they shut the door and they go, that coon thought he was getting a job. Yeah, right. I go, what percentage? And they go,
Yeah.
50%. I hear that all the time. 50%, like
What?
half the time it happens.
No.
And I go, dude, I'm telling you, as long as I've been alive, I could probably count it on one hand. And I'll tell you, it's never met with open arms by the majority. It's always shunned and, hey, man, I don't
That's
see
bad.
it.
Yeah,
I
that's-
don't see it as far as a conspiracy of racists pervading all these systems and collectively conspiratorial. When you look at Black Lives Matter, the premise is very conspiratorial,
Oh yeah. It's like, okay, we're gonna take that one case that happens on a very rare occasion where a black person is killed by a white police officer, and we're gonna make that life matter. It doesn't matter if he was a criminal that was caught up in the middle of a crime or something like that at the time that he got pulled over and then he got shot and yada yada. So it should be called like some Black Lives Matter or something like that, because it just doesn't make sense. It's
Some Black Lives
yeah,
Matter.
because
That's not right.
they don't care. If they really gave a shit, they'd be worried about
Chicago. Right. Or
70,
every ghetto
everywhere.
everywhere.
Detroit,
The ghetto
New
in
York
my
City.
city right now.
Yeah.
Go to
They'd
that
be out
ghetto.
there.
It looks like Baghdad down there.
It's
I
terrible.
can take you a spot right now. It looks like Baghdad. There's people everywhere. They're out in the street. You pull up to the stop signs. Excuse me.
Kinda
Black
roll
guys
through
will
'em.
run up and they'll throw dime bags of weed in your car. This happened to 3 of my friends. And if you don't pay them right away, it don't matter if you smoke weed or not. You're buying the dime bag and you're gonna roll your ass through. And they throw it in there. They go, $10. And you go, I don't got. Boom! My friend gets punched. They grab the weed. They punch him, and he drives off. This happened 3 times
What?
over period of time. It's not like everyday occurrence, but
God.
it's happened enough that I go, whenever I have to go through that area, I go, ugh, I just roll up my windows, lock the doors,
Yeah.
like, and I don't want to live like that.
Hold up
shouldn't live
signs that
like
say
that.
no weed. No weed, man.
People start coming out smoking, coming up to the car, looking at you like, "What are you doing here?" And
Yeah.
it's like, "Whoa, I don't know where I'm lost.
Yeah.
I don't want no weed. No, I don't. Please don't wash my window. What's happening?"
I'm doing anything. Don't even look at me.
You got midget prostitutes
I love
walking up
black
to the
people.
car, holding their baby, smacking their gum. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I gotta
There's
get out here.
midgets there too.
Oh boy, it's insane.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
should go,
Every
like-
city has it though.
we
Every
should-
city
yeah.
I've ever
Oh, yeah,
lived in,
yeah.
even in the small cities, they had
Yeah.
this problem and this sort of
But those lives don't matter, according to Black Lives Matter. You know what I mean?
That's
Those
the
lives don't
thing,
matter.
man. It's so misguided.
hypocritical.
It's not that that white cops can't be racist and that they're not.
Yeah, as
and
an
and they
individual.
scientifically have proven that all cops are more likely to shoot black people quicker than they are white people. That's a fact. That is. But that's tied in. I was telling you about schemas and psychology of this automatic reference point of perceiving danger, and same thing. Why you jump away from a black garter snake versus you don't know if it's a moccasin or what it is. You just move, you know?
Yeah.
So there's some of that going on, and it happens in equal, if not more, sometimes in these studies show more rates amongst black cops and black people shooting black people. Why? Because their fear is even higher than white people because they live in those communities.
Yeah, they know what
and they
it's
go,
like
you know how many
growing
people...
up
It's so crazy. I was talking to Sean, you know, and it was like telling my brother from another mother, and he tells me, like, how many funerals he's been to and how many people he knows that has been shot and killed. And, you know, the woman he's dating, her son was just shot and killed. And everybody saw it in a club. 30, 40 people saw it. Not one snitch. Nobody's gonna tell. I know who did it. I'm not saying. There's something going on there, you know, and it's like that's very unique to your culture because I don't think that happens in a country western bar or even a biker bar necessarily, you know.
No, that's
maybe
usually
more so in a biker bar. Maybe it's, you know, you
It's
can
usually
definitely...
a fight, an ass whooping.
This wasn't even a fight. A guy
Yeah.
tried to buy some weed or something, and the guy, I don't know, it was a drug deal gone bad, and, you know,
Yeah.
bullets fired, and everybody saw who it was, and nobody wanted to repeat it. Nobody wanted to tell the police when it came. Hey, I don't know.
Wow.
So yeah, you know, to your point, there's a lot of internal problems going on as well, and instead of vilifying the police, vilifying every rich white man, look at the neighborhood. Say what's happening here. We
Yeah.
got 85% fatherless homes. We got a rap culture that glorifies treating women like objects, and you know, get rich or die trying. Fuck the police. Fuck the system.
Drugs, yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
player. I'm a thug. Like this is all they hear, you know. And it's like they're recruited from an early age, 15, 16. They're already on the corners selling drugs and making money and making more money than their dad. And this is not exclusive to black people. If you remember a movie called The Bronx Tale.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Remember that? The Italians and
Yeah, he's doing
they
the hand
and they
thing
had
and
the
all,
same thing.
yeah.
Italians had the same thing. Look, you know the working man's a sucker.
Yeah.
Your dad drove a
Cologino.
yeah. Your dad drove a bus for 40 years. What did it ever
What
get
has
him?
he got?
Nothing.
Yeah.
You know, you'll make more money than your dad. You know, watching this poker, this poker room and
That's
helping people
awesome.
out. You know,
know-
so it happens absolutely.
I referenced that movie earlier today. I shut the door.
Bronx Tale?
Yeah, I shut the door to the break room at work. There's a couple guys in there. I says,
You heard
Now yous can't
Come
leave.
Together came on.
no, I says, now you can't leave. You know, everybody start dying laughing. Like, oh, I
Yeah,
know
the
that
bikers
movie.
when they tried to get him out. Oh, that was
Yeah,
a
it was a
brutal
great
scene.
scene,
You ever see
man.
that movie?
Bronx Tale.
No.
Gotta watch it,
Great.
dude.
Robert De Niro. Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
Great Italian
Chaz
movie.
Palminteri. Very good movie. Very good.
Badass. Talks about growing up in Hell's Kitchen in New York, and
Yeah.
I don't know what era that was, 50s, 60s,
I'll
something
say
like
the
that.
50s into the 60s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
I think
very segregated and tribalistic. Italian gangs, Irish gangs, black gangs. It was very,
very well done movie. Tribeca film.
yeah.
I think that was one of the first films from that Tribeca studio or production company that De Niro ran. It was before he turned into a wanker.
He turned into a wanker. Yeah, he did,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
He was
he's
not that. He
disgusting.
wasn't a wanker.
He was badass. Now
Quite
he's
a
like
badass.
this crazy. He's like the crazy man in his freaking underwear on this lawn, spraying you with the hose. Get off my lawn!
poking me with a stick. Get
Yeah.
off my lawn! Call the police! I'm gonna call the police. Yeah, I'm dying, sir. Call the
Oh
police.
man, crime. Look at Jussie Smollett.
Did we talk about that? We didn't
No,
talk about.
we
I thought
haven't
we
even
did.
talked about him, man. Jussie Smollett. Okay,
I'm man. Wow.
I'm baffled and I'm
Yeah, I am
angry. I don't,
too.
like I said, I don't get angry very often. This one kind of made me angry, and the reason it made me angry is he faked a hate crime that could have got people hurt or killed. If there were two guys that met his description walking around that night and they got caught, he said he was willing to testify. So he would have testified. He would put two guys away. He
Exactly.
could have started riots.
Could start. Yes.
You know what I mean? He could have started. Who knows what kind of bad stuff could happen from
Two
this.
people went to jail for a hate crime. They're stigmatized the rest of their life. They go to court costs and their
Yeah,
family
they
and
get-
friends disowning them. Their whole lives could spiral.
Yeah,
down
could have
to
destroyed
noth-
lives like that.
Could have destroyed lives. And
And
he just walked. I
he gets
don't
off with
understand it.
for a $10,000 bond and 16 hours of community service. You get more community service.
16 hours. You get 40 hours for a DUI
Yeah, I mean, I'm
or a
like,
drug charge. You know.
it's just stupid, insane. So there's a lot going on with that, though. There's like,
Explain. Let me interrupt you right at the beginning and tell me what the tweet you read was from Empire.
oh yeah, Empire. I think it was the Empire writers or whatever. Like, see you on Wednesday, buddy, or something like that.
See you
and
on
they tagged
fucking Wednesday.
Jussie Smollett in it, or they hashtagged him or whatever. See you on Wednesday. I'm like, so did they never plan on because they said they cut him from the show.
I knew by the
or
way they were
reduced his-
hesitating and how long it took. I
Yeah.
said they don't want to get rid of him.
No, they don't, because he's one of the driving
And now
forces
he's
of
kind
the
of
show, I
a
guess.
Guevara or whatever. Like he's like a revolutionary. He's like,
He wants
yeah,
to
he did
sue.
some bad stuff, but his reasoning was good.
His reasoning wasn't good.
Well, his reasoning was because oppression in this fascist system driven by a white supremacist.
Coming from
Come
a
on,
guy
man,
that
get
makes
with the narrative. That's
Yeah.
what it is. What were you saying?
I think you have to have like 24 or 25 community service hours just to graduate high school.
yeah, just to graduate high school.
Like they require you. To
Well,
do
you
that.
know, you're not a rich liberal black homosexual with all those cards in play right there. That's like a full house almost. So yeah, it's hard to beat that, you know.
Wow.
So he gets off. They drop all 16 charges. Kim Fox comes out of recusal. You know, she recused herself from the case because she knows the family and whatnot. Comes out and does that. Now, it turns out, I guess, Michelle Obama's former chief of staff contacted her via text message and I guess asked her for a favor to get rid of this. I saw some leaked
Yeah,
text
I've been
messages
seeing a
on
lot
that.
of stuff. Like now, Trump appointed the FBI and who else?
Yeah,
Was there somebody else? Some other big organization? They're looking.
I think just the
into it.
FBI
Is
right
it
now.
just the
But they
FBI?
got to look into it. They got to really look into that.
Yeah,
This-
because
this-
it doesn't make sense.
I mean, you got video of these two guys buying the masks, buying the rope, all that. You found the hot sauce bottle in their house with the bleach in it. You found magazines cut up for the, now the federal case isn't dropped yet. They can still get them on that, but
Right.
the local
I hope they do.
Chicago.
I mean,
hope
it's
so,
like
too.
the
He
O.J.
deserves
Simpson
it.
verdict or something. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's like, yeah.
it's total crap.
Now here's some more stuff. The NAACP is offering or wants to give him some kind of recognition, some kind of award now. I can't remember what it was called.
Are you kidding me?
Dude,
Really?
really? And another leaked email from the lawyer states that, remember how he said it was two white guys that attacked him? Well, maybe they were wearing white face, the two Nigerian guys, because there's a picture of one of them dressed as the
didn't
Joker
read enough
for
on this.
Halloween a couple years ago. Maybe they had white
This
face
is what
on.
Jussie said.
This is what his lawyer said.
Are you serious?
I'm
You
serious.
read this?
Dude, yes, and on several legitimate sources. It's not like somebody tweeted it. No, maybe they had whiteface on.
Here's a couple white-faced black guys driving around with a rope and what else? Didn't they have something else? they
Hot
threw up? Hot
sauce,
Come
and he never
on.
dropped his sand. I mean,
What the hell are you
okay,
talking about?
the police say, the prosecutor, everybody says he would have been convicted had it gone to trial. He would have been convicted. This is an alternate punishment or whatever process. I don't care what you say. It's corruption. It's corruption at its best. It's happening in a city that's known for corruption for as long as it's been around, since the days of Al Capone, pretty much. Chicago's a very corrupt city.
Sure.
And the cops released the police reports. They were told to seal them and all that. They released them online. I picked them up, downloaded them, and printed them up yesterday. I read through them. There's nothing that we don't already know, but it's all there.
Right.
And it's a lot of hoopla and BS and all that. You could probably condense it. It's like 60 pages or something, but it's just like, how blatant can you be? He's a friend of the Obamas. He's a friend of Kamala
I
Harris.
saw those pictures with him and Michelle. And
Yeah,
something
and
about Michelle
Barry.
getting involved.
Pictures of him with Kamala Harris. Pictures of him with, I think there was one with Cory Booker too. I don't know, but he's got all these political ties.
Yeah.
He's got hateful rhetoric regarding Trump on his wall, on Twitter and all that. He's just...
If I
and now
said-
they're going to make him into a star. And
He's-
it's disgusting. It really
yeah,
is.
he's a Colin Kaepernick kind of guy,
Yeah, so
but
what's
in the worst
but
level, and the worst
worse.
example of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was reading some, I read like you do. I read tons of comments and
Mm-hmm.
tweets, and I want to know what people think, And a lot of stuff that came up was, well, you know what? His cause was right. His methods were questionable. And that came up multiple times, said in many different ways, but essentially that was the same gist, was, no pun, it was, his cause is right, and he's fighting white supremacy, and he's fighting this problem with cops attacking black people, and this and that, and this and that. And, okay, did he plagiarize, aka fake, a hate crime? Yes, he did, maybe, per se. But the cause was noble, and therefore we still have to hold him in a higher regard, It's amazing. It's baffling. It's like, guys, if that's not a red flag for tribalism or identity politics, I don't know what is at this point.
That's a
You had
red
a kid,
flag
you-
for like a sociopath.
You-
I mean, this
yeah.
guy put a lot of people at risk
Yeah.
for his own financial personal gain. he basically told everybody to. Now they're saying he wants to sue the Chicago Police Department.
Of course. Well, it's not just that he, with that example, but also with the MAGA hat kid. Then they were calling for him to be beaten.
Yeah.
They wanted him expelled. They
Thrown
wanted
through a
to
wood
ruin
chipper.
his life.
Yeah.
And now Jussie Smollett's going back to work on Wednesday, and they're going,
Yeah. Well, it's okay.
like, come on, guys, come
All right,
out.
good job, Jess. Yeah.
I'm on Twitter and Facebook and all these social media. I see how many people and how many artists I know, particularly that came out immediately when this story broke. And now that he got out, nobody's saying nothing. I say, well, no, now's the time to come out and say, you know what? I disagree with this.
Oh yeah.
This is wrong. Injustice is injustice. We all know what he did. I don't understand whether he called in a favor or whatever the hell he did to get out of the situation. It's wrong, and we need to be protesting empire. If Roseanne can lose $100 million, her franchise of her story of her life, that's the story of her life. Roseanne's show is called Roseanne,
Over a
and it's
comment.
about her life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you took it from her, and she's nobody. She's shunned and ostracized.
Yeah.
She's pandering to Jewish people now, and I mean, it's just
Yeah,
it's
and it was over a
it's kinda
comment
sad
that was
now.
not racist. It was
No.
only perceived as being
even
racist.
even if it was racial, because there's a difference between being racist and racial.
Yeah, it was more mean.
Let's say it was racist. Let's go all
Yeah.
the way out on the limb and say she was being racist.
Yeah.
It's not faking a hate crime, baby. It's not getting people arrested.
Nobody got hurt.
She don't have a job.
Yeah.
She doesn't. She's not even on Twitter. Like she is
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, I used to follow her on Twitter.
Her and Alex Jones might as well get a duplex on on Mars.
Yeah.
It's like you're gone. You're done.
Yeah.
Jussie Smollett got a job, a well-paying job that he's going to return to, and nobody says anything because you know what it is. It's Schadenfreude, right? It's that I think I said that right. Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude, yeah. Yeah.
And they're trying to hide their. That's terrible. But it's there.
it's
I see it, and
conservatives
I
are
know it's there. I
pissed.
feel
Oh,
it. I just
yeah.
feel it in my
Yeah.
bones that it's like, guys, come on, man. And I get criticized so much for being part of this identity thing, and it's like I really tried not to be. I really tried not to be. But there has been more stuff coming out lately on the left, and I'm not picking sides. I'm just looking at the bizarreness as it comes my way, and that's bizarre to me. Jussie Smollett is bizarre to me. If there's a bigger story this week about Trump doing something bizarre and questionable, I'd talk about it.
Yeah.
I'll talk about it. He wants to cut. What was it? I just read. I think it was education or something or
Yeah, money to the
sciences.
Special
I didn't
Olympics.
like that. I didn't like some
Yeah.
of that stuff, and I
It's-
came out and I said I
yeah.
don't like that. I just want to see equality. Like everybody's preaching equality. How about some damn equality? If being racial is the new standard and that's wrong, we can deplatform Roseanne. Then I want equality. Then we do it to everybody.
Yeah. And we got to look at the timing of this too. The day after the Mueller report goes, or 2 days after, right?
We
It
didn't
was
even talk
released
about
on
that.
Sunday.
We didn't even
Yeah.
talk about that. We got to end on
Yeah.
that. We got about 5 minutes.
Yeah, so we get this great report that says, boom, there was no collusion with Russia. The media loses their mind. The left is nuts. Now they're just saying, well, Mueller was gotten to, or this and that.
Oh, yeah.
Release the report.
Well, it wasn't Mueller. It was Bob Starr, or who was the other guy?
Barr.
Barr.
Yeah, the
Barr.
AG. Yeah. They're saying that he's taken too long to look through it and release
Yeah,
it. Well,
he's the
information.
criminal. I'm like,
Information needs to be redacted, first off. Second off, there's going to be some more investigations after this, but on the other side of this. So there's probably information that may or may not implicate people there that they want to keep secret.
That's
you
when
know?
my friend, he was an officer, and my friend Alan,
Yeah.
he's a cop, or he was a cop, and he said, well, there's just part of it's civil rights. So you can't just give so there's gonna be
everybody's
s-
name and
they're
yeah.
not doing all that, guys. I don't know what you're
Is
looking
that Big
for.
Tall Allen?
And,
Big Tall Allen? No? Neither
no.
do I.
Who's Big Tall Alan?
Never mind.
Oh. No, he's very short, Alan. He's conservative. He's conservative, but more to the center. And I think you guys would get along. He wrote me. I said, hey, watch that video on Dolph Lundgren and whatever we were talking about Dolph Lundgren and everything. He's like, what the hell is he talking about? Rocky IV was amazing.
I stand by my thing. I love it, but it's not a great movie.
He's like,
It's
what is he talking about, man? It's like, I agree with this guy, but what is he talking? I think he's wrong on this one. I think
Watch it again. When's the last time you watched it? I just watched
I
it a
don't
month
know.
ago.
Was
Yeah.
it? Oh,
Yeah, I watched it a
maybe.
month ago, dude. It didn't age well.
Man, don't ruin my childhood again.
I know, I understand. It happens. But yeah, so Mueller, the Mueller report comes
Yeah.
out. Trump didn't collude with Russia, which everybody knew for 10, for 2 years.
I don't know. Look, could
If there
there
was-
be lies? I don't know. I tend to try to trust in the system. That's the way to be an American,
there was-
right? This
if
is our
there was
system. I
something-
trust in
yeah.
it. Okay, this is what. Look, George Zimmerman got found innocent and was released. Trust in the system.
Yeah.
You can't just select what you want to trust in. Well, I don't agree with that, but
Well,
I
you
agree
can.
with this. I
People
agree
do
with
that all the time.
well, I think OJ was innocent.
Yeah.
Stop with all this. Like and I said to someone, an artist attacked me kind of on it, and I said, well, what about if these guys are lying? It's going to come out, and when it comes out, they find out these people were trying to hide it. They're going to be out of jobs. Like, it's going to be a big deal. They might be under criminal charges. Why would they? It doesn't make sense to do something. You don't lie about things that the truth is going to come out in a week or two after. You don't do that. If you were somewhere you shouldn't be, you stole something or something, and there's no way to know that you did that, then you lie maybe. But not when you know there's surveillance footage that's coming out next week, and I wasn't in the J.C. Penney's, and when that bank when the cashier got robbed, and it's like, we got you on tape, buddy. You're gonna be, like why would they lie? What's the? I don't understand.
Like that one movie. That guy looks like Phil Collins. There's me stealing TVs.
Yeah.
That's not me. It's definitely not me. But yeah. There's too many people involved to lie about it.
Yeah.
Somebody will leak it. If there was something to be found in 2 years, they would have found it.
That's what I'm
Not
saying.
even a low-level staff member.
Keep
was
looking,
involved.
I guess. I mean, I like checks and balances, but
They want to look at the other direction now because they want to see what the left did during all this.
right, and they're actually people talking about looking into Obama, and now the left's going, that's a waste. My friend today said that's a waste of money. And
Yeah, let's look into Obama.
Let's not look into Obama. Okay, I don't know. There was some questionable airstrikes or drone strikes that were done for one.
Let's look at Hillary Clinton. Let's look at the sale of our nuclear material to Russia. Let's look at the Clinton Foundation. Let's look at that money sent to Iran, and and let's look at a lot of little things.
It reminds me of like when you work at a job and you have somebody you don't like and they don't like you, and then everything goes wrong. They're kind of running to management, like, I think Jimmy did this, and they look into you and go, no, he didn't. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
And then it's almost on the other side. They're doing the same thing.
Oh yeah,
left and right. They're both coming back and forth. They're both kind of going, you need to investigate Hillary. You need to investigate, this guy, that guy. Well, you need to,
And the big problem is the right usually is like, all right, well, you guys are wrong, whatever. Let's let it slide. Let's move on. But we got to stop doing that because there needs to be a reciprocation. I think
things have changed.
They need to fight back and be strong and be up there with pictures of Ronald Reagan on a Velociraptor, saying,
right.
yeah, or the Chewbacca theory. I was waiting for him to pull out the Chewbacca theory during that.